Now let's look at this scenario. How old are you? Okay, not very far from age 29. Think about it. You are age 29 again, and you have $10,000 in the saving account, saved at 4% per year for 18 years. And by age 65, you have $40,000. All right. Now imagine you're age 65 years old. Your house is paid off and kids are gone. You have $40,000 to your name. How long is that gonna last you? The way you spent it, 3 months. Just kidding. But you're right, probably not very long. A year or two. What if you have 8% interest rate? Your money doubles every 9 years. You have $160,000 at age 65. That sounds a lot better, right? What if you have 12% interest rate? Your money doubles every 6 years. By age 65, you have $640,000. Isn't that amazing? Now, it's not more money or more time. What's costing this guy $600,000? It's only the interest rate. Isn't that a pretty important principle for you to learn, Marnie? Now, here is the million-dollar question. Where do I get this 12% interest rate with some protection of the principal? Well, it comes down long-term saving. There are really just 3 ways. Number 1 is fixed account. That's 1 to 3%. And in today's market, probably not even that. These are banks, credit unions, or saving accounts, which is very hard to get ahead of inflation, right? The second way is the other end of spectrum, just stock market, mutual fund. We love it when it goes up, and we hate it when it goes down. The third way is equity index strategy. In this, what it means is our principal and interest is tied up with Standard & Poor's 500, short for S&P 500. What this is 500 widely held public company. They're Mobil, Oil, Walmart, Dell's Computers. They represent 70% of the United States capitalization market. It's pretty much the economy market. Our equity index strategy is tied up to S&P 500. If the stock market goes up, we share the profit. If stock market goes down, we lock up. With protection of interest, we don't lose any money. I wonder how that works. Let's say this is S&P 500 and this is equity index strategy. Say the S&P 500 goes up 12%. We share profit 12%. However, in year 2008, stock market took a hit and has 38% decrease. We are at 0, no loss. That is dramatic 38%. However, it doesn't happen every year. More realistic, 6% decrease. 0 is still better, no loss. What's the catch here? What's the trade-off? If the stock market goes up 15%, we only share 12. It's the cap. Stock market goes up 18%, we're still at 12. Sometimes illustration help. Let's say you have $10,000 in the saving account to invest. Stock market goes up 10%, we're at $12,100. Another good year, stock market goes up 10%, there was $11,000 and we're at $12,100. But the stock market fluctuates. It's gonna some good years, some bad years, and it took 20% hit this year. Can it happen? Actually, it did. That gives up at $9,600. And when the stock market is this low, it went down 20%. If you have a financial advisor, what they tell you to do? Something is on sale. Right, you will buy more, right? This is Walmart, this is Dell's Computer. They're gonna go back up sooner or later. They're gonna go back to normal. However, before they go back up, always goes down more. See, another 17% hit. We are down at $7,900. This is $2,100 from where we started. If we use equity index strategy, we locked up here. No loss. $12,100. Another year, 17% hit. We are locked up. $12,100. Still no loss. Eventually the market goes back up. Let's say 15% is a good year. We come back at $9,000. That is $1,000 short from where we started. If we use equity index strategy, we share 12% profit. That gives us at $13,550. Here is the difference. That's the power of equity index strategy. So you see why the index strategy approach is quickly becoming one of the most popular. One of the best ways to win the risk return and inflation battle is to be able to get potential higher growth, yet protect your principal from any downside market loss. But Marty, you cannot just win the rate of return battle and forget about taxes. In fact, I'm going to show you an example that will shock you, that how important it is to employ both the rate of return battle and tax battle. Let's say 30 years ago, a guy was 30 years old and he wanted to know if he wanted to have $1 million in a saving account for retirement when he reached age 60. How much money he need to put down. So he walked into the bank and says, "Mr. Banker, what do I need to save each month for 30 years so that I can have $1 million?" Well, the banker took up the calculator and crunched some number and said, what you need to do is put down exactly $1,639.29 for 30 years every month. Well, that's discouraging. And this guy turned around and walked out of the bank and never saved a dime. Now he's a great at Walmart. We've all seen him, right? Now, what if we could have taught him how to win these two battles? The rate of return battle and the tax battle. Look at how it drops the number. It went clear down to $899.14. That's $900 a month. Now, how many people do you know can save that amount of money every month? Probably not, right? Not a lot. However, that $700 less than that guy is significant, right? Now, what if we can help him put the money away where it cannot be taxed while it grows? So with tax deferral, what does he have to put away? Look at that. $438.73 a month. That's a little bit over $100 a week. Now, Marty, do you know people that can save $438 a month? Yeah, a lot of people. Maybe you could do that. You're blowing that, right? See, to a lot of people, it's not a big deal. It's not so much to put away a ton. It's about putting away what you can at a decent interest rate, reduce taxes, and avoid loss of principal. In fact, at the end of this, you have a crystal clear picture that when and how you will be financially independent. Now, Marty, let me ask this. It's really neat. If you were financially independent right now, and do you have enough money in your nest egg so that every month you had enough to replace your normal income, that you don't have to work anymore? What would you and your wife be doing? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What would you be doing? That's great. Now think about it. If you're financially independent, you have options. That's the point. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. In fact, it was interesting. The other day we were going through the implementation phase with the client. That's our second visit. And the wife was so excited. He gets up and says, you know what? I could go door to door and ask my neighbors, when are they going to be financially independent? And nobody would know. But I do. You know what? At that time, she and her husband became one. because they knew what their dreams were and when it was going to happen. So it's exciting. That's step 6. The last step is estate planning. A lot of times, using a trust fund so upon death you can leave a legacy instead of headaches and possibly tax burdens for your survivors. How a trust fund helps you avoid probate and possibly against liabilities. Also, the importance to have the will, living will, the power of attorney, that type of things. Do you, let me ask you this. Do you already have attorney or other advisor that you work with on estate planning issues? No? Well, we recommend you engage an attorney who specializes in estate planning. You also have the alternative to use a company that is in the law firm but prepares your documentation for simple estate planning. I can give you contacts of such companies if you're interested. Okay, great. So that's step number 7. So these are the 7 steps. Inspect what you expect and increasing cash flow, eliminating debt, developing emergency fund, protect what you have with life insurance. Also building long-term financial independence, which is critical, saving taxes also with estate planning. Of all the 7 steps, if you could only pick 2, which 2 would you pick? Good choices. Now let me tell you what we do. What we do is called financial needs analysis. This is to make sure we come back with the products that we offer are suitable for you. Where in a second I'll ask you a few questions to determine what your needs are and what your goals and dreams are. That I'll take this back to the office, and we have a very sophisticated software program where we'll input your information and help us develop a plan to tackle specific needs around you and help you become one thing: financially independent, the soonest. So it's awesome. Now, let me tell you the cost of this. When I come back, all I will expect is hot chocolate chip cookies, fresh out of the oven, which you personally baked, and a tall cup of milk. Just kidding. You're too serious, I had to throw that out. Now, let me explain how exactly we get paid. The companies that you choose to link up with and help you with your financial goals pay us a referral fee or finder fee. So you won't be billed for any services rendered by us. So it's a win-win scenario. However, the information that I bring back to assist you will only be as accurate as the information that we put in. So work with me here because we're talking about your financial future. And if we do this right, we can potentially shave years off your retirement date. Now, the first 3 or 4 questions are yes and no questions, and I can't have maybe. This will help me with your short-term and mid-term goals and where you're headed. In the next 2-3 years, do you plan on making a major purchase? Good. Now, Marty, this is going to be awesome when we get back together in a day or 2. You've got $400 we can work with every month. When we get back together, we're going to have a crystal clear picture how and when you can potentially be totally financially independent, fulfilling your dreams and goals. You're going to love it, but you're going to need to listen, and I'm going to spend some time on this because I know you're serious, so I'm going to be serious. It's going to be awesome, Marty. This is going to change the quality of your life. You're going to owe me big. Now it's very important that we build upon what we've talked about today, so we need to set up a time within the next 24 to 48 hours. But if we have to go clear into next week, I'll have to recapitulate everything I've just talked about. So we need to get back together as soon as we can, because we're talking about your life here. So with that in mind, what's your schedule like tomorrow? I have 10 o'clock in the morning and 3 p.m. in the afternoon available. Which would you prefer? Sounds good. Now, before I leave, let me ask you a couple of very important questions. If I come back and I can show you a plan that meets your needs in every way that you're totally comfortable with, Is there any reason that we couldn't do business together? Excellent. And after we do business, is there any reason that you wouldn't feel comfortable providing the names of 3 or 4 people that you feel could really benefit from my services in the same way that I'm going to help you? Great. Thank you for your time, Marty. I'll see you tomorrow.